So, good afternoon. I am Dipanjan Ghosh. Today, I want to discuss on the need-based discussions of metabolisms. That is, I want to discuss carbohydrate metabolism, protein metabolism, and fat metabolisms. So, first of all, I want to discuss the very important aspect, the very important topic where the students will have to notice the portions which is very important. So discuss about it. Yeah, discuss about it. So first of all, I want to discuss the process by which the carbohydrate metabolism is actually occurred. The process are glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, or neoglucogenesis, or the pentose phosphate pathway, or TCA-CyK, we know. So basically the carbohydrate metabolisms I want to discuss here the glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, and gluconeogenesis. So if I do the comparative discussions between the different process, glycogenesis, genesis means the productions, genesis means glycogen generation. So site of glycogenesis is liver and muscles. In case of glycogenolysis, site of glycogenolysis, lysis means breakdown of the glycogen. That will also occur to the liver, but glycogenesis occur to the liver and muscle. And in case of gluconeogenesis, that process is actually performed, that is the site of gluconeogenesis is the liver and kidney. So in glycogenesis, the glycogen is actually produced from glucose. So whenever the glucose is actually attached with ATP and Mg2 helps it by the help of glucokinase enzyme, the phosphate is actually come from ATP and it will attach to the 6 carbon atom of glucose and produce glucose 6 phosphate. And the ATP will break down by the liberation of one molecule of inorganic phosphate. It will conform glucose 6 phosphate and ADP. Then phosphoglucomutase, that is that will convert, that will change the 6 phosphate position to its one form, that generate the glucose 1 phosphate, and then the uridine triphosphate, one residue come and attach with glucose, conform UDP glucose and inorganic pyrophosphate. And then ultimately the glucose pyrophosphate IH is used and glycogen and UDP is actually produced. So by that glycogenesis process, glycogen is actually produced and the glucose is converted to glycogen and restored to the body. Okay, and glycogenolysis, the reverse phenomenon occur. That is the glycogen we produced glucose and lactic acid. In case that will depend. So glycogen will be converted to glucose 1 phosphate. The reverse phenomenon of glycogenesis is glycogenolysis. The glycogen will be converted to glucose 1 phosphate. Then Mg2 pairs and phosphoglucomutage will act on it and convert it to glucose 6 phosphate. And in case of muscle, the glucose 6 phosphate is actually converted to lactic acid. And in case of kidney or liver, that glucose 6 phosphate is actually converted to glucose. So this is the glycogenolysis process. And whenever I will come to the gluconeogenesis, that glucose will be converted to its non-carbohydrate form. That is glucokinase will convert glucose to glucose 6 phosphate and fructose 6 phosphate. This is the main rate-limiting enzyme, the very essential enzyme of gluconeogenesis, that is the phosphofructokinase. We will also see that particular enzyme PFK is very important for students. PFK, phosphofructokinase, that will convert fructose 6 phosphate to fructose 1 6 phosphate. Whenever we look forward to glycolysis, there we find that fructose 1 6 bisphosphate we converted to dihydroxyacetone phosphate and 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. That is C6 carbon atom will be break down to C3 and C3. And that 3-phosphoglycerate will be converted to 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvic acid. So by glycolysis we get pyruvic acid and 2 molecules of ATP. Okay. So that is about the glycogenesis, glycogenolysis, neoglucogenesis and glycolysis. Now I want to discuss about the pentose phosphate pathway. So the another metabolic pathway is pentose phosphate pathway, and that process is actually occur to the liver, mammary gland, adrenal cortex, RBC, and into the sex organ. Okay, so that pentose phosphate pathway is actually occurred. Okay. So if we see, then we can find out basically here what is happened. Glucose 6-phosphate is actually converted to the pentose phosphate, that is 5 carbon containing phosphate. Okay, so we have to keep remember that terminology, and here we can see the Cody cycle is also important. Cody cycle, we know that is the glycogen in mass says that we convert to the lactic acid, and that will be converted to the glucose to the liver, and by the transportation system it will go to the masses and convert to glycogen. So that is the liver glycogen by glycogenolysis to glucose, glucose by glycogenesis to masses to glycogen, and that glycogen with glycolysis process we convert to lactic acid, and that lactic acid by glycogenesis we convert to glycogen. So this is the Cody cycle. Okay, you have to keep remember in mind. And we can see the oxidation process, the fatty oxidation, that is the oxidation of fatty acids, that is beta oxidation or omega oxidations. It will depend on in which carbon atom the oxidation is actually occurred. If it is happened to the oxidation happened to the beta carbon atom, then it will be denoted as beta oxidations, or if it happened to the omega positions, then it will be denoted as the omega oxidations. Basically here what is actually found, the fatty acid we attach with the coenzyme A, and it will convert the fatty acid, we activate it, and it will convert to acid-CoA, and then dehydrogenase, the acid-CoA dehydrogenase, and we know where the dehydrogenase acts, it will convert to FAD to FADH2. It will convert to alpha beta unsaturated acid-CoA to beta hydroxy acid-CoA to beta keto acid-CoA, and that will be bifurcated. One will be converted to fatty acid-CoA and another will be converted to acetyl-CoA. And that acetyl-CoA we know during dicarboxylic acid cycle, whenever the TCA cycle is actually happen, then what is happen? Now after glycolysis, the pyruvate decarboxylation occurred. So in case of aerobic respirations, there is glycolysis, and after that the intermediate pathway is pyruvate decarboxylation. As in glycolysis process, glucose is converted to pyruvic acid, and that particular pyruvic acid entered to the TCA cycle. But there is a very the pyruvate decarboxylation occur, that is the carbon dioxide we remove from pyruvic acid. As a result, it will be converted to acetyl-CoA. And so I have discussed now that acetyl-CoA, which is come from the fatty acid oxidation process, and that acetyl-CoA is actually entered to the TCA cycle and generate ATP. Okay, so all of you have to remember it. And we know during starvation process what is actually occurred. Now the more excessive oxidations of fatty acid occur, because food supplement do not occur during starvations. So the oxidations of fatty acid occurs, and as a result the ketone body is actually generated. So the ketone body production is actually occurred here, and it will generate the acetoacetic acid, acetone, beta hydroxybutyric acid. So all are ketone bodies actually produced during the starvation process. Okay. And the production of ketone body is ketogenesis, and whenever the excessive amount of ketone body in blood, that is ketosis, and whenever that ketone body will come to the urine, whenever the excessive amount to the blood, then it will pass to the GFR, glomerular filtration rate, and it will come, we can trace it to the urine. So that whenever we can trace that ketone body to the urine, then it will be denoted as the ketonuria. So ketogenesis, ketosis and ketonuria, these are three terminology which are very much important for those students who have prepared themselves for NEET and JEE Pass. Okay. So now to my later class I will discuss about the protein metabolisms and the ornithine cycle. Okay, thank you.